Coming up today on This Is True Really News.
More evidence that people are stupid.
Every 15 minutes.
Someone gets stupider?
No.
Bet they do.
This is just, it plays into one of my most irrational fears. So,
you have an irrational fear?
Oh.
Of what, common sense?
No, well, among other things.
No.
And mine's the one with the snake coming up the toilet and grabbing me from underneath.
In a bad place?
By the nether region.
Yeah, that's down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what I'm going to do, though.
Jump like crazy.
Potatoes.
Scream like a girl.
Potatoes.
We're going to have to talk anatomy because that's going to be very uncomfortable for you. Have we liked, subscribed, or followed yet?
I have no idea.
I hope we did.
Let's just move on, shall we?
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true.
Really?
As far as you know.
You get to start things. Let's go, Ace. Come on. Chop, chop. There's humor to be done here.
Yeah. Normally I was always enthusiastic about asking you to like, subscribe, and or follow This Is True Really News.
So we're still in the tease. I get it.
But now I'm beginning to think there is no freaking hope. Central Florida's Interstate 4 was shut down after a semi-trailer hauling 10,000 frozen turkeys caught fire, according to Click Orlando.
How long did it burn? Just kind of checking for a friend.
I hope long enough so they got, nice brown glaze to them.
That's what I was thinking.
The Seminole County Fire Department did not know what caused the blaze, which started as the driver pulled onto the shoulder. No one was injured, but the birds were cooked nicely.
Thank you very much.
I'm pretty sure that was just a couple months early. You do that in November?
Oh, man. You could sell that on the roadside.
You'd have had families of people out there. Well, napkins tucked in, knives and forks. It'd be great.
Maybe they'd started a fire to escape. It just went wrong.
They're frozen turkeys, dude.
Well, all the more reason to start a fire. Emergency services in Bangkok say they're being called out every 15 minutes.
If I get a wire hanger and straighten it out and put it in my ear, can I scratch my brain?
Did that caused it to itch?
Right there, right? It's got a bad itch going on.
One might well ask, why are emergency services in Bangkok being called out every 15 minutes?
So why? Blah, 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 15 minutes.
To capture snakes.
And we're back.
Heavy rain has driven the serpents out.
So we won't see you in Bangkok, right?
Oh, not anytime soon.
He'll travel to Bangkok and then he'll fly over the border to go to the bathroom.
That's fly over the border. I'll hover even if I don't have the accoutrement.
Hovering accoutrement?
Like the leather helmet and the pilot's gloves and the
keep going.
God purse. Oh,
Get back to the story. Come on. Focus.
The heavy drain in Bangkok has driven the serpents.
Heavy rain has driven.
Oh, heavy rain has driven the serpents out of their usual. See now, look what you've done.
What I done?
Yes, they've come out of their usual hiding places in Bangkok. Footage shows firefighter.
Once you get a snake stampede going, if you can't turn that lead snake, you're done.
Man, they slither fast.
Yeah.
So footage shows firefighter Pino Pukfino removing a serpent that became entangled in a family's net fence. Net fence? After eating a bird.
Netscape used to be?
No. Netscape. Snakes are everywhere underground. We just don't see them, but the floods leave them nowhere to stay. Snakes don't like water, so they escape floods to people's houses, according to Pino.
Because houses don't like water either.
But my toilet loves it. I don't know what the snake's doing in it, or why it's attempting to.
Why do you always think there's a snake in it? We just don't. It's confusing.
I actually look. I've done enough stories of toilet snakes that I actually look. And we had one come up the toilet in Kansas when we lived there one time.
Sad and pathetic at the same
My dad killed it with a rake.
He had a rake on him, did he? Or did he have to?
It was one of those collapsible rakes you keep in your pocket.
Okay. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Oh boy. At a funeral on August 6th at Rolling Hills Memorial Park in Richmond, California, a family brawl broke out.
You sure it wasn't in Scotland?
No, I'm sure it's in California. They probably argued over whether or not to compost dad.
Yeah, well, I know what the Scottish fight was about, so.
That's spending too much money on the funeral.
No, the guy wore a kilt in the traditional way, sat on his wife's leg, and left a racing stripe. So she punched him. He punched her back. A brawl ensued, and next morning, all was forgiven.
I think Chris Christopherson said it best. Why me, Lord?
Because you're the lucky one.
There's a damn frightening thought. According to SF Gate, a family brawl broke out after the deceased son and daughter started arguing. The deceased's son and daughter.
I was going to say, I thought, there's a lot of arguing stops once you die.
If they were still arguing while they were dead, then I want the composting thing. Police were called to the scene around 1:30 that afternoon, where up to 20 family members abandoned the service to fight with each other. Okay, maybe they were Scottish. The 36-year-old brother got into a vehicle and attempted to drive toward his sisters in an aggressive manner. Only in California would we write it that way.
Right. He tried to run his sisters down.
That's a short way to put that, yeah.
Big idiot.
Instead, he hit another female and sent her to the hospital with thankfully non-life-threatening injuries, according to Sergeant Aaron Pomeroy of the Richmond Police.
Wow.
Somehow he also managed to knock over headstones and vases, which I can understand, right? Because you're racing through a cemetery. What I don't understand is how he broke the water main, which, of course, caused the funeral plot to fill up with water.
Of course it would.
The deceased. They knocked over the casket.
This is a scene from a dark comedy.
The only thing that went right was the deceased did not fall out. If it was a scene from a dark comedy, the body would have flopped out.
Or it would have kind of gotten hung up on a railing over on a bridge overlooking a freeway, and a guy would be hanging from the arm of the cadaver.
Help me, Spock! Boy. When the brother finally got out of the car, someone hit him with a cane to him. We don't have this much fun at family weddings in my family.
I know. We really got to start fighting more, Tony.
The brother was later charged with felony assault with a deadly weapon and vandalism.
And a stupid brain.
And apparently that brain transplant did not work out well.
Well, the chicken who donated it wasn't willing anyways.
No, it wasn't. It was normal.
Normal chicken?
No, Abby.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Speaking of abnormal, wife tweets.
By the way, that was Scott. That's Scott that said, speaking of abnormal, wife tweets.
My husband and I have non-traditional marriage roles. I control the TV remote while he sighs. Which reminds me of a time when I was at your house and Robin was attempting to use the TV remote.
Yep.
And from the moment she touched it, you were saying, "You're doing it wrong, Rob. You're doing it wrong, Rob. You're doing it wrong, Rob. Give it to me. You're doing it wrong, Rob. You're doing it wrong." I'm surprised she didn't throw it right at your head.
I did?
Yes.
I don't ever remember being that disrespectful.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Don't get me wrong. I remember times. Just not that one.
Husband says to me, "Why don't you ever spoon me?" So I spooned him. He farted.
And hence we have the answer to the question.
Husband rearranging our throw pillows. Me from upstairs. That's not how they go.
That's true. Superman and wives have X-ray vision.
It's ridiculous.
And why is it only moms get eyes in the back of their head? That's just not fair.
Husbands, the longer the marriage, the louder their sneeze.
True story.
I think my dad's sneeze was unbelievably loud. Ann says I'm loud these days.
Well, you've been married a while.
Well, Before quarantine, my husband used to eat like 5 Doritos, then fold the bag and put it away. And since we've been in quarantine, he still does the same thing. This situation has taught him nothing. Nothing.
Okay, so if he was eating Doritos, folding the bag, why would he change that when he couldn't leave the house? I'm
anxiety?
Confused. No, I'm confused.
Finally.
Oh, thank God.
My husband and I played rock, paper, scissors to see who had to clean up the dog poo.
Not rock, paper, lizard, something Spock?
Rock, paper, scissors to clean up the dog poo. Don't tell me romance is dead. Okay, I won't.
That sounds like it could have been from my house. I mean, we're about that kind of romantic.
I believe you.
Yeah, so would Robin.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.